And hello, how are you doing, Chicagoland? I want to tell you I'm so happy to be back after 2.5 years of this COVID. Oh my goodness, we're finally back on live television. Now, I want you to know I'm Captain Mark Stevenson. I am your servant. And this time, we're going to dig in deep about how you can do what Captain Mark does. Because my goal is to open the doors so that you can be a captain too. But you don't start off being a captain. You start off being a deckhand. Today we have a special guest, a very dear friend of mine who came into the business and he handled it with all of the gusto in the world. His name is Jamelle Vaughn. He'll be on in just a moment. I just wanted to also tell you, because I'm constantly getting emails from you about my wife. It's been a miracle. She's still putting up with me after 32 years. I don't know. I think she's crazy. She must be, because she has my bags packed by the front door. She can't wait until the season starts. As I speak with you today, the day before the boat season starts, it is now April the 14th. We start tomorrow and we go full-fledged on May the 1st. But between April the 15th and May the 1st, we work out all the kinks. And we make sure that anything that could go wrong is out of our way early in the game. So we want to invite every one of you to come down and see us on the lakefront. Just come on down and have a margarita with me. And if you don't drink, have a margarita with me anyway. I just want to make sure that you know the doors are open to you, because for the first time in history, we see so many people from all walks of life that are coming into the maritime industry. And we see that there are so many jobs, the doors are opening. Do you know there are over 300 different job categories in the maritime industry? We are today's engineers. We're today's captains, computer operators, navigators. We're the interior designers. We're the singers, designers. Anything that you can imagine that is done on land, yes, it's done on the water. And we need you to come down and do that. If you have someone that is living in your basement, someone that is just catching spider webs, we want to make sure you know that you can send them to the Dream Catchers. That's right down here on the bottom of the screen. Take a look. The Dream Catchers Incorporated, we make sure that we open doors and help people to live their dreams. And we open these doors so that you can come into the maritime industry, send people that you know that want to come in and work on boats or work on the docks, doing a zillion different things. The doors are open for you. Now, I want to share something with you. I have a video that our good friend Armani, he's signaling me to give him a second. He's going to cue this video up. And guess what?
It's not ready yet. I still haven't received.
This was something that happened yesterday morning. You see, we're already delivering the boats to come into the Chicago harbor system. Did you know that there are 10 harbors in the Chicagoland system? Plus, if you go a little further south, you'll see the Hammond Marina. That's 11. Then there's East Chicago. That's 12. There's a ton of places that you can enjoy yourself and work at in the maritime industry, working on boats. The only thing that I want you to know for sure is this: that if you sit down on your hands and you wait for the opportunity to come, it'll never be here. You see, many people look at folks as opportunistic, and they're looking for opportunities. But I want to tell you this: you have the chance right now to become the opportunity. Don't just have your hand out looking for something that can come into your hand where you can receive it. Just make sure that you are opening your eyes, opening the doors to your heart to realize that you, yes, you can become the opportunity, not just seeking an opportunity. I found out through when I first got into the industry as a cleaner, a head cleaner. What does that mean? We call the bathrooms on boats heads. Well, I read this book by Booker T. Washington. It's called Up From Slavery. Up From Slavery taught me about cleaning. You see, Booker T. Washington was trained by a lady on how to clean properly. And he used to use toothbrushes to clean the baseboards and the corners of windows. He was an excellent, excellent cleaner. And the thing is, he was such an excellent cleaner only because he learned how to do it with passion. Today, if you go to Tuskegee University, as soon as you enroll, you know what they give you? A toothbrush to keep your damn room clean. And I took that same work ethic and I started cleaning bathrooms on boats, all the heads on boats. I got into it so good that I made these bathrooms around the grout. I cleaned the grout in between the tile and around the handles. I'd make sure that I did it so well that no one could compare with the work that I was doing. Pretty soon word got out that there was somebody on the lakefront who did a great job at cleaning, and before you know it, I had a cleaning business. You can too. There's more than enough business to go around. You don't have to be a boat captain. There's so many other things that you can do. Now, Armani, do we have that video up yet? Okay, we're still going. I want to make sure that I don't just keep going on and on. I want to slide in one of my friends and my good friend, Jamelle Vaughn, who is now a world-renowned actor. Yes, he is, but he's also an expert in the maritime industry. Slide on in here, won't you? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you Jamelle Vaughn. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, Captain Mark. The pleasure's all mine.
Now, you came all the way from Atlanta to visit.
I did, yes, sir.
Well, I know that this is the time now that you can talk about some of the things that you were thinking about when you first came into the industry. How did you get involved in this?
So I've been around boats my whole life. Growing up in Chicago, in Bronzeville on 35th Street, the lakefront is always, been there, and so grew up, of course, seeing boats and looking at the lakefront, and always being curious about it and wanting to explore that, and see what that was all about. So when I came home from college, I got the opportunity to wait tables and bartend at some of the cruise ships down at Navy Pier. So that was my very first experience. But I didn't gain any real practical experience until you and I met back in the early 2000s, and you began training and mentoring me. And that began my true love with boating. Since then, I've had more recent experience in the boating and being out on the water. When I married an amazing woman, I want to start out.
She's in the business too.
She is. I want to start out by sending a shout out to my wife, the amazing and wonderfully talented Consuela Ivy Vaughn.
Say her name again. Slow.
Consuela Ivy Vaughn.
Okay.
She is a fly-on entertainer with Carnival Cruise Line. She does a solo act. We have been together over 5 years now. We just celebrated 3 years. We're actually coming up on 4 years this fall of marriage.
How does she put up with you? The likes of you is not an easy thing to deal with.
I think her and your wife are from the same tribe. But don't let me digress. My wife, Consuela, or as I like to call her, Sway, works for Carnival. And so over the last few years, I've been on multiple cruises. Most recently, we did a Christmas and New Year's Year's cruise, Southern Caribbean, which was a lot of fun. So
she sings. She's an entertainer.
Yes.
On the cruise ships.
Yes, she does
Oh, my
R&B. She does like a soul show. So it's all about love.
Have you got a chance to go with her as her luggage carrier?
I call myself her emotional support human.
Right. Right.
Whatever works, whatever gives you in the game.
Yes, absolutely. And you told her about your experiences here in Chicago, of course. Now, I remember working with you for a company called Boat US.
Yes.
Now, that's like the AAA of boating. When you have a problem, you call Boat US, and they come out to get you.
Yeah.
And you came on some of my adventures, I'll call them, along with me.
Probably the most harrowing and adventurous boating experience I had with you. I went out with you on a little bitty clanky tugboat to go rescue a boat. And it was raining. It was a lot of chop that day. I never done it before. I ain't never done it since.
That was a real towboat. That wasn't a clanky,
Whatever.
clanky
That's what
boat.
it felt like to be. And I haven't been on one since. Thank you for that experience, sir.
Boy. So what happened on that trip?
We wound up. We towed a boat up the river, didn't we? I think that's how the day started. But then you got a call to go do a rescue. And so we had to hightail. I think we went up the Little Calumet River, and we had to hightail it out of there. It was night, and so you had to get me back down. I had to burn them so you could go out and do the actual rescue. But I remember coming back down, just how fun that trip was.
Yeah, that was called a character building day.
Yes, it was.
I remember a character building day, and you handled it quite well. Now, we also have been out on some pleasure cruises and parties.
Yes, we have. I got a chance to be your first mate and assist you with some of those charter cruises up and down the Playpen, the Chicago River and whatnot. And it's a ball, man. I loved it. If I was not in TV and film and, making, and pursuing that passion, I think that would be my next choice as a full-time job.
Before
Absolutely.
we talk about your adventures in TV and film, because I bet you that the public has seen you on television before but didn't know it was you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that.
That's a safe assumption.
Right, we're going to talk about that. But I just want to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What do you suggest to young people, middle-aged people, and older people about the opportunity to come into the maritime industry?
If you have a passion for it, I would urge any young person or any person of any age, because I didn't discover it until later in life.
That's right, me too.
If you have a passion, if you're curious about it, explore it, go after it. Life is short, and you never know what's waiting out there for you. If you have a passion for it, you have an urge to do it, I think that's there for a reason, and our challenge as human beings is to go after it and chase it.
What does a young person do to get started?
Well, they would reach out to you, Captain Mark, or they could, start by going out to, get into a program like yours.
Well, I want you to grab an ink pen and paper, because we're going to give you some vital information about how you can get in touch with Captain Mark. We're going to help you to get started if you want. I have a passion to bring people in the industry because we are really, we were brought here as a people of color on boats.
Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed since my experience with you. When I first started out, I did not see that many people of color, specifically when I was waiting and serving tables at Navy Pier, all those lunch and dinner cruises, there wasn't that many of us out there. But by the time you and I wrapped up our time before I made my transition to Atlanta, I stopped and I looked around. I was like, wait a minute, we're not in the bottom of these boats anymore.
Oh. You mean you're not the cargo?
No, we are not the cargo anymore. And that's that was a powerful realization.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There are 300, I think we talked about this a minute ago, 300 plus different jobs that are open to the people that want to be in the maritime industry. What if a person wanted to do something like, for example, your wife? She came in as a singer, but there are other people that support her performance.
Yes.
What about the people that work the sound, the people that work the lighting,
Absolutely.
the people that take care of her costumes and so forth?
Absolutely.
Are those positions that are realistically something that the average person can pursue?
So to be specific about the cruise industry, the bigger lines like Carnival and Royal Caribbean, so on and so forth, those are hospitality industries at their core. So they're always, any hospitality job that would be associated with any normal hotel or restaurant, you're always going to find those positions, as well as think of it as a casino or a resort on water, a hotel on water. So and entertainment across the board. So if you have a passion for that, you have a passion for water, that would be a great opportunity to marry.
But
any of those.
don't they have to go out to sea for weeks and months?
Now, that is true. Most of these positions do come with pretty hefty contracts. I've heard the typical contracts is 6, 7, 8 months, especially for entry-level positions. So it is a sacrifice. Yes.
So what do you do if you have a family? What if you're a female that has children and you're not married and you're taking care of a couple of children? What do you do in order to get yourself in position to someday send for them?
Well, if it's something that you really wanted to do, if I was in that position as a woman with children, and it's something I really wanted to do, if I was that passionate about it, I would have to find a way or find someone to trust to raise my children, make the sacrifice to get my foot in the door.
What if you're a man who's been in trouble before? What if you have a criminal background?
I'm not really sure about it.
Well, take a look at this. You see?
You mean that big giant X on your back?
It's an X on my back. Absolutely. You see, if I have been approved by the United States Coast Guard and the Department of Homeland Security, that's good enough. They're looking for people that are trying to rebuild their lives to come into this industry. So even though as a young man, I may have been in trouble a few times or 3 times or
a handful or so, yeah.
11 times.
Oh, who's counting? Who's counting?
I lost count after 10 or 11.
Thank goodness God wasn't counting.
There you go. And that's the point. God wasn't counting. You see, if there's something that you really, really want, you can do. No matter if it's the industry of acting or the industry of the maritime. Now, I want to ask you something, because I found out that the good friend of mine was really a damn monster. You were a monster on television.
So I was not a monster, but
yes, you were.
No, I slayed some. I killed a few.
Oh,
monsters.
you killed a few monsters. Okay, what happened when you moved to Atlanta to get you into the acting business, and what type of jobs did you find there?
Okay, so when I moved to Atlanta in 2017, I left a job. I was in social work as a mentor.
Talk louder.
I was at social work as a mentor at the Clio Community Center. I fell in love with my wife, decided to terminate my contract with them and move to Atlanta. Stepped out on faith, did not know what I was going to do. My nephew, shout out Floyd Donaldson, he was helping me move some furniture into my apartment, and he hooked me up on a casting page or something on Facebook. And I was thinking maybe I could do some day playing, background work or whatever. So that's all I had, and I just took to it, just to get out the house, do something, get acclimated. And within a week, I booked something I booked the first thing I ever applied for. And within a week, I booked a feature role, and I haven't looked back since.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures of you on your Facebook page with a number of stars that you've worked with closely.
So,
how did you get into that so quickly?
All right, so I started out background work, and I've done too many things. I could seriously talk for 20 minutes about just the background stuff. I'm not going to do it. But some of the biggest things is that The Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
I got featured as a survivor, Hilltop survivor, recurring core background on The Walking Dead in season 9, season 10, and then we just wrapped up season 11, the final season. I'm actually in the final episode of The Walking Dead. It'll air probably this fall.
Do you know my children, and I'm going to tell you something. Daddy doesn't lie all the time. My children did not believe that I had one of my best friends, because every week the family gets together, and do you know what they get together for?
What's that?
The Walking Dead.
Really?
They absolutely.
I'm sure you had a chance to press pause and point at your man. Right?
Listen, you look like a different person with all of that
so
makeup.
The issue is you don't wear any makeup, anything. They want you to look like you.
You mean you were just naturally ugly?
No, that's what I look like. Yeah. No shave, no haircut,
oh my
nothing.
God.
Because you gotta look. It's post-apocalyptic. You gotta look like it's hard out here.
Killing all these
they
zombies
want you to look like the struggle
and stuff.
is real. So yeah, I'm sorry.
Wow, I saw you killing all of these zombies. You were doing you had some type of sword.
A spear. I was a pikeman, to be exact.
Pikeman.
Yeah, so my character, Papa Bear, ran the Moonshine Still at Hilltop season 9. Season 10, I was a part of the mixed community militia and part of the Whisper Wars. I was blessed to survive. I came back and made a couple of appearances in the last season, and I got called back to work on the last 2 episodes, heavily, prominently featured.
Well, in between your acting jobs, how did you use this experience in the maritime industry to help you out, or did you?
I did. So the time I spent out there, the seasons I spent with you out there on the water as your first mate, gave me an opportunity to just step back and take a look at life and evaluate and gather some skills, like the whole thing about to be aware is to be alive, keep your head on a swivel. In order to lead, you have to be of service. And those are just a few things that we talked about that I remember. There's a ton more that I'm just not forgetting right now, but those things are, keys. Those are, universal principles that once you get an understanding of them, you can apply in any area of your life. So
folks, what he's saying, what I'm hearing him say, is that sailing isn't just about driving boats and being on boats. It's learning how to live. It's a way of life. Mm-hmm. And we teach people, of course, the skills that are necessary to be safe, mm-hmm. but more importantly, we teach people on how to survive in real life, because these are the real things that we need to transfer into everyday life. Now, if you're interested in becoming a part, grab your pen, here it comes. If you're interested in becoming a part of the maritime industry, it is my life's passion to work for you. And I need you to call or write Captain Mark Stevenson. Here is my telephone number, 312-437-2230. That's 312-437-2230. You can also connect with me on Facebook, but I do answer my emails. If you send me an email telling me that you're interested, I will get back with you. I promise. I take pride in I don't ever let messages go unanswered. You can connect with me via email at Boatmaster, that's B-O-A-T, Boatmaster1653 at Gmail. That's Boatmaster1653 at Gmail. My guest today, if you just joined us, is Jamelle Vaughn. He's an actor. He's a maritime expert. This guy has been able to take both parts of life and put them together in order to take care of himself and take care of his family. Isn't it something that you want to do, to be able to be free? That's real freedom. Now, tell me, what else have you done in Atlanta? And have you been there looking for boats to contact Captain Mark and say, "Come on down, let's have a good time." See, I'm trying to get myself invited to Atlanta to come down there.
Let me start by saying, to answer that, you're always invited. You're always invited to Atlanta. You're always welcome wherever, my brother.
Thank you.
So I haven't had a lot of opportunity to explore the boating scene in Atlanta because it is, a coastally large state. But there is a large, I think the largest body of water is Lake Altoona. That's what they use for the backdrop for Ozark. But I haven't had a chance to go up there and check it out yet. I've been too tired of doing what I'm doing.
Ozark, that's one of my favorite shows.
Oh, I was on Ozark 2 this last season 4, episode 5, I think. I'm a server in the cigar bar. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, we talk about getting out on the water, but it's really learning how to live. You see, you are a leader. You set the pace. You're the one that sets the pace for others. So you must realize that as doors open for you, you reach back and open doors for others. Isn't that what you've been doing?
Yes, absolutely. So since I've come into the industry, I've also been exploring production work. I've gotten into becoming a production assistant with a different TV movie shows assistant director department, excuse me. And in that, I'm normally the oldest person and probably the only African-American guy. So I work with a lot of young kids, fresh out of college or whatever, and I get to mentor them in a way, shape, and fashion. I use a lot of tools that you shared with me. And so, I'm able to use that. It was about mentorship, right?
That's what it's all about. You see, I was mentored by a Captain Bob Johnson. Bob Johnson is no longer with us, but he opened up a lot of doors for me and told me, you must stick to your price. You must work hard to open doors for people that follow you, because the pace that you set opens the doors for those that follow you. And I see that you just took the ball and ran with it. I'm so proud of this guy. I'm so very, very proud of this guy. He has done what was necessary, because we both came from some shaky parts of our lives, which brought us together. And now we know for a fact that these are the things that allowed us to be able to help others. You've heard T.D. Jakes say, without a test, there's no testimony.
Amen.
And this is a prime example of that. I know that T.D. Jakes also has taught us that if you don't have haters, you probably ain't doing stuff. You probably ain't doing much at all.
Right.
So
if you got haters, you're doing something right.
Oh, absolutely. So collect your haters. The more haters that you get in your life is a clearer indication that you're on the right track. Tell us about your haters, Jamelle, and how they helped you to really, really dig in deep to because I know it is not hard being in the maritime business and the acting business and constantly being rejected for all types. I don't know if I could handle it.
True. Rejection is a part of life, and I don't consider that hate. Haters are people who hate what you have or jealousy. Two different things. So what was the question? I'm sorry, was it about haters or rejection?
The haters. Do you think that the haters in your life motivated you to keep pushing?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, of course, who doesn't take pride in being able to shine and overcome and stick their chest out, even to some degree, and even if it's just on the inside, say, "Hey, look at me now,"
Frank Sinatra said, "The best revenge of all is to have overwhelming success."
But with that being said, not to cut you off, I don't really pay haters any attention, man. For the record, I could care less about haters. Because I had haters when I was down bad. I had haters when I'm good. Haters are a fact of life. They're just a gauge.
Well, for the record, I love my haters. I collect haters. I want more and more. Those of you that are hating on me right now.
I prefer congratulators myself.
That's absolutely right. I think that the doors have opened for you in a way that that for most people, they would have to say it is truly, truly a miracle. I know that you are a walking, talking miracle.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Amen.
You
Amen.
are.
And you know what? I don't take any credit for that. Other than that, I just am grateful. But I always try, anytime anybody acknowledges me in that manner and fashion, I just want to take time and thank God first and say that without God, I'm nothing. And I'm truly a testament and a product of His grace and mercy and the love of my amazing wife, Consuela Ivy Vaughn.
Now, in the last couple of minutes that we have on the show, I want to ask you this. What are the things that you would consider the most important to have inside your heart and in your head in order to work on boats?
Heart and in your head. In your heart, you should have passion to serve, a passion and a willing to serve, learn, and you know, be of service to others. There's no way to be a part of the boating industry and to come up in it and to be involved in it in any fashion unless you don't know how to serve, because you have to. Boating is dangerous and it's so complicated that you have to start out small, and the easiest way to do that is by being of service, cleaning it, throwing the lines, or sucking out the sump or whatever, whatever. That's and so if you can stomach that, if you can deal with that, then that's the key. I think,
Absolutely. Well, Jamelle Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen. Jamelle, thank you so much. Thank you so very much for taking the time to come and visit with us. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to find out more about how you can participate in the maritime industry, I would love to help you. Here's my number again in case you didn't get it the first time. You can call Captain Mark at 312-437-2230. That's 312-437-2230. Or you can email me at boatmaster1653 at Gmail. That's boatmaster1653 at Gmail. So I want to thank you again. We're so glad to be back. We're going to give you every week, every Thursday at 6 p.m., we're going to give you another piece of the maritime industry and open some doors for you. So until next week, we'll see you then. And make sure you know this. Mama, you got to get the coffee ready because the kid, he's on his way. Bye-bye.